For licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
Any Joe Schmo knows Geico will work to save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not just ask the savings?
That's me, Joe's Savings. I'm not literally $1 million, but I feel like it. Why? Because when Joe switched his car insurance at Geico.com, his monthly rate went down and the savings went up. Now he uses the handy Geico mobile app anytime to check out his policy perks. Talk about a win-win. And 2 thumbs up. Man, I wish I had thumbs.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
Working 9 to 5. What a way to make a living.
The hit movie is now a Broadway musical, and you can see it live on stage at Ocala Civic Theater September 8th through October 2nd. Join Violet, Dora Lee, Judy, and all the girls in the office as they teach the big boss a lesson. Filled with music and big laughs, 9 to 5 is great fun. Call Ocala Civic Theater at 352-236-2274. Don't miss it.
9 to 5.
Are you a list maker? Got your day planner laid out to structure your day? Well, here's something to add to your list. Make time for something really important. Visit Highland Memorial Park, because how you prepare for that moment is so important. Why Highland? Sure, it's a beautiful place, but aside from the beauty and the quiet reflection, practical people will appreciate the many options. Take a tour and make some serious plans. The Highland staff will confidentially show you all options and payment plans. Call today, 369-1020. Highland Memorial Park. Peace and reflection for your family.
Here's what you may have missed on the John Tesh Radio Show.
Curly fries are the most caloric. Curly fries are a no-no because all those curls create more surface area for oil to glom onto during the frying process. If you have a bigger role in the company right now, but you're seeing no change in your compensation, our career coach says you should be asking for a raise. Did you know that people with children are half as likely to get a cold as people who don't have kids?
Intelligence for your life on the John Tesh Radio Show. Don't miss this stuff.
Veterans are the foundation upon which our freedom is built. Listen to The Source, WOCA, each Thursday at 9 a.m. to Veterans News with Hank Whittier from Vets Helping Vets. You'll hear tributes, information on veterans issues, and stories that will make you laugh, cry, and feel proud. Veterans News always focuses on the military, past and present, and on our first responders. Veterans News is brought to you each week by Bob Wine's Camellia Gardens and Nursery, keeping you blooming since 1952.
Need a mailbox rental but need more information? Remember Personal Service Center, 789-6683. How does $10 a month sound with just a 3-month commitment? Remember Personal Service Center, 789-6683. Mention WOCA and the setup fee is waived. Personal Service Center will email or text notifications to you when your packages arrive. Even scan mail so you never actually have to pick it up. Now that's service. Personal Service Center, 789-6683. Located on the corner of Northeast 25th Avenue and 24th Street, Ocala. Look for the yellow signs.
New windows will beautify your home and bring you immediate energy savings. Renewal by Anderson of Central Florida leads the way in outstanding quality and installation. Visit renewalbyanderson.com for a free in-home consultation with the pros. Right now, buy 3 windows and the 4th window is 50% off. No money down, 0% interest, and 0 payments for 12 months with approved credit. Visit renewalbyanderson.com. Renewalbyanderson.com. Offer ends September 30th. License CGC 1524135.
Welcome to the Home Maintenance Show, sponsored by Ace Solves It All. Plumbing, electrical, solar, and air conditioning, Ace solves it all. And now, here's your host, Charlie DePari.
Hello, and we're here to help you take care of the critical components of your home, such as your air conditioning, your plumbing, and your electrical systems.
And folks, you can truly benefit from Charlie's advice. In the long run, your pocketbook's going to benefit as well. Let's talk about the big summer expense, Charlie, air conditioning.
Well, we're quickly moving into the summer season, as you can feel when you step outside the home. And your air conditioner is, at least half of your energy bill in your house. And you've heard the words, pay me now or pay me later.
Right.
Little things like changing your filter on a monthly basis. And I often ask people, when's the last time you changed your filter? And I hear that big pause, A dirty filter, how an air conditioner works is a fancy way, but it's similar in the long run to having a block of ice in a fan. Instead of a block of ice, there's a coil that the cold refrigerant goes through, and then clean air needs to pass through it. If you don't change your filter, that coil gets clogged up with dust and dirt and hair and all these components. So the air doesn't pass through it as quickly, which means the system has to run longer. Changes pressures, it hurts your compressor. The largest reason for compressor failure is a dirty coil. And it can be avoided with good filtration, and as simple as buying a good pleated filter and changing it once a month. Do whatever you need to do. We all have phones now. You can set a date on it to remind you to change it. Do it the first of every month. Put it on a calendar. But a lot of people don't use calendars any longer. Everything's electronic. Or simply do it when you pay your electric bill each month. But some people, it gets paid electronically, automatic. They don't even realize it. But it's very, very, very important. And then doing routine maintenance. You all service your automobile, every 3,000 miles or 5,000, whatever. You bring it in and have it all taken care of. You pay more attention in most cases to your automobile than you do your home.
I agree.
And every day that air conditioner puts in more hours than your automobile. You need to maintain it. You can save a lot of money on your energy bill. And what if you didn't have to? What if you could postpone putting a new air conditioning system in for 3, 4, 5 years because you took it?
Right there.
We put in air conditioners pretty much every day, and it's not a happy day when we say, Mrs. Jones, I'm sorry. This thing is 8 years old, which is kind of young, and your compressor is shot, and you don't want to tell them from lack of maintenance, but that's what it truly is. And, you can either put a few $1,000s into this, or we can sell you a new system. And in most cases, they go to a new system because, most of the components.
Dollar for dollar, you're going to come out better.
But hopefully they now take care of the new system.
Right.
The new systems are much more energy efficient. You can get very high SEER ratings, which is like the SEER rating, folks, the minimum we can put in is 14 by code. That's the minimum standard, and we're a premier Lennox dealer. We can put in anything, but we're a premier Lennox dealer because we think it's the best product out there, and we can put in as high as 25 SEER. And they're rated the most efficient and quietest air conditioners in the world, and you can buy anything in between. But when you get up in the high SEER ones, from 17 up, Lennox has a patent that we can link solar panels to your air conditioning system. You can get a nice write-off. Not only that, the SEER rating then goes to the roof because big parts of the day you're getting the electricity from the sun.
One of the things that you mentioned is the increase that we pay during the summertime with our air conditioning running. And every month I use my power bill as a gauge as to how are we doing as a family. But the other part of it is it should never jump, at an enormous amount, unless of something.
You have a problem.
Yeah, something failing, and depending on how the power bills are paid at home, one hand doesn't know what the right hand is doing.
No, and then some people move into maybe a used home or something, and the air conditioner's in trouble, and the bill's always $400 a month.
Right.
When maybe it could be $150 to $200 cheaper with a real new system. And then for the people out there, and there's many, many of them that are low on refrigerant, they have a leak, and then you just have somebody come out every once in a while and add refrigerant. That's like driving your car around town, 2 quarts low on oil. A compressor is a pump. And what's going to happen to that when it's low? Number one, it has to run longer, it burns itself out, and it's going to use much, much more electricity.
And it's very often the case. People say I'm just low on Freon, and that is a mistake, a big mistake,
and
because it's not going to fix itself.
And for most parts, it's still a ton of the old ones out there with R22 refrigerant, which we're phasing out. And one of the ways they phase it out is they jack the price up on that refrigerant. It cost us a fortune for a jug of that. Per pound is very, very, very expensive. The new stuff is 410A. It runs on higher pressures, and it's more friendly with the environment.
Well, it makes sense for people to convert over, and as people install new air conditioning, they're going to be well set. You spoke a lot about maintenance, and I want people to know about the ACE Family Value Plan. Explain to them what the ACE Family Value Plan is.
We offer this. It's a type of a service agreement that we maintain the three major components in your home: electrical, plumbing, and AC. For AC, we come out and we do 2 tune-ups a year, spring and fall, basically. So you're ready for this summer season and the next season when we need heat. Because, folks, when you have a heat pump, which most people do in homes, in apartments and so forth, some people have what we call straight cool. It turns into electric heat in the winter. But you're using that system either way all year round. So you have to take care of it. So we come out twice a year. We check 20 to 25 to 28 components, depends what type of system you have. Make sure it's clean. We check all those components, the capacitors and the relays and so forth.
You drain the line.
We drain the line, which is,
that
very
causes many
important
problems.
because your line is going to back up, I was just talking to a customer on the way to the studio, and his line backed up. That's why his unit shut down, And, it had a float switch. It's a newer home. It's a year and a half old. He's never did anything to it. It's a buddy of mine, and when he called me about a week ago and he said his system wasn't cooling, I asked him when's the last time he changed a filter. His house is a year and a half old. He's never changed a filter.
Ouch.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people like that. But we check all those components, and then electrical, we go out once a year. We check all the connections in your panel. We make sure everything is safe in your home. We change the batteries and your smoke detectors. And for all these different services we do, you get a 15% discount when we do any repairs, and you'll know about the repair before we would ever do it. You'll know the price up front. Plumbing, similar thing. We go out there, we locate where the main water valve is. We make sure you know it works. We check all your other valves. We'll change up to 2 conventional flappers in your toilets because water is harsh. It eats them up, and water is expensive. Take a look at your water bill. Take a look at the sewer bill if you have
Which is twice as much as the water bill, right?
I don't understand why it costs twice as much to throw it away as it does to buy it, but I'm not a politician either, but I find that hard to believe. Years ago, we didn't pay it for the sewer bill, but we do now. They invented
It's a crappy business, I tell you.
It's a new tax, But this way you know your house is safe and make sure people are amazed. They have aluminum wiring. They didn't know it. They have the wrong type of plumbing, polypropylene.
That's scary right there.
And
not knowing that with all the danger of electricity and homes that burned down, and the people never knew they had a bad panel, they had bad wiring, all these things, and just day in, day out living.
You'll be amazed what we find when we open panel covers, from rodents to unsafe wiring to things done wrong size breakers and so forth. And, these older homes, so many people have had their hands in it. Sometimes it's the homeowner or the previous homeowner. That's why it's important to have a good home inspector before you buy a home. And
I've seen you post pictures of the crazy things that people do.
When you think you've seen it all sometimes, you say they couldn't be anything else. And
but it's dangerous. They're living there, and they're setting themselves up for disaster.
And the smoke detectors are very important. The manufacturers only vouch for their smoke detectors, no matter who it is, for 10 years. After 10 years, they have no guarantee that they'll work. And when you push a button on a smoke detector and it makes noise, that does not mean it will work in a smoke condition. Because we test them with a canned smoke. And we've tested detectors that make the noise when you push the button, but when we squirt a can of canned smoke, it doesn't go off. We change the detector, put a brand new one up, squirt the smoke at it, right off. How you'll know, folks, if your smoke detectors are 10 years old, because this is a safety item, rule of thumb, when you look up at them in the ceiling and they're yellow in color, they're old. The plastic's changing colors. But most smoke detectors come down with a quarter turn, and on the back of them there is a date. And if that date is 10 years from today, before today, it's time to change that detector.
There's a tip.
The combination CO detectors, carbon monoxide and smoke, they're all only vouched for 7 years for some reason. Different electronics in there. Very, very, very important.
Folks, there's a tip from Charlie that we can all use and keep our families safe. What Charlie has described as the ACE Family Value Plan, it covers your home's electrical, air conditioning, and plumbing for a full year. This plan sells for $289.95 for a full year. What Charlie's agreed to do on the show is make a special offer to you. We like to talk to people that are interested in maintaining their home, and so Charlie goes out of his way to make special deals for you folks who are interested in home maintenance. Again, the ACE Family Value Plan sells for $289.95. But on the show, we're going to make a special offer for the first 10 callers. You'll be able to get the ACE Family Value Plan covering electrical, plumbing, and air conditioning for $139.95. But you've got to be quick. It's a radio-only offer, and I'm going to give you the number to call. So grab your cell phone, get ready to dial. Here's the number, 877-223-2968. Again, 877-223-2968. That's for the ACE Family Value Plan for the low price of $139.95, a $289.95 value, and you're going to receive 4 visits, 2 for air conditioning. And by the way, these are different techs. These are not jack of all trades. So 2 air conditioning visits, a plumbing tech will come out for the plumbing inspection, and then an electrician for the electrical inspection, and they will go through your home and talk to you about everything and point out any problems that you may have, and also help you plan. If you have a number of things that need attention, they can show you how to space it out over time. And another thing that I think is great, Charlie, is that you offer financing.
Yeah, we take credit cards and we have third-party financing that give good rates, but it's always cheaper to maintain something than it is to react to something. And, everybody's air conditioner, for example, is going to fail. It's a piece of equipment.
It has a life.
But if you take care of it, no different than a car.
Right.
If you take care of it, it'll last longer. There's normal parts that wear out. But let's say you got a bad capacitor and you don't pay attention to it. That can end up giving an early death to a fan motor or to a compressor, which is big money, because the newer systems, they have electronic type of motors. They have inverters in them that run on DC. Part of being efficient, they've gotten fancier in how they work, and they work really well. They pull more humidity out of your home. But maintenance is cheaper in the long run. And a little thing that I mentioned we do with the plumbing visit, for you people listening out there, where's your main water valve in your house? If you had a broken water pipe, where would you go? Most people don't know. We help them locate that. And you can flood your house out very, very quickly. Another thing, we check your water heater as well. Our lovely insurance companies have come out with a difference in their policy that has been there a little while now. If your water heater is 10 years or older and it leaks and damages your home, like if it's in a closet or something in your home, if it's in the garage, it's going to probably run out of the garage, not the end of the world. Unless that's a finished room now, we find some of them. But any damage it does, if it's 10 years or older, it's on you, folks. They wrote that, in mice type in your policy. And
10 years goes really fast.
Yes, we talk on the radio sometimes about roofs and other things, and everybody thinks they put on a roof just a couple of years ago when Charlie came through. Well, it's 2016, folks. Your roof is 12 years old. It's on the downhill side of being wore out.
Isn't that amazing when you think about it? What type of disaster we went through and how many years ago that is now.
We all talk like it was a couple of years ago. Who went through it here.
Well, because we experienced it.
And I hope we never experience it again. It's okay by me.
Amen. I'm there. We were out without power so many weeks that year. I want a rebate somewhere or something. It's like, how can I get that back?
That don't work. But
you mentioned water heaters, Charlie. There's been tremendous improvements in water heaters and how, the different types that ACE installs.
A year ago, April, the energy code changed. And part of the things it involved a lot of things, but water heaters. So our water heaters now, the conventional tank is more efficient than the old tank. One of the ways they did it is more insulation. So in diameter it's bigger, in height it's bigger because they put more insulation on it. So if you have that small closet where it's tucked in with a shoehorn, an old one, and it's a certain size, you may have trouble with the newer one, may have to be relocated or go to another tank. There's tankless as well, both electric and gas. Gas is the most efficient. But an item that is out there, been out there for a while, we install a lot of them, is a hybrid water heater. It's basically a heat pump on top of a tank. It costs more than a conventional tank to purchase and install, but it requires half the energy as a conventional
So
water
over
heater.
time, you're going to save money.
You're going to save a lot of money, and it's quiet, and the offshoot of it is it dumps cold air into the room it's in. In most cases, it ends up in a garage. It works really, really well. And then, of course, you got solar water heater. I have solar water heating on my house. I've probably had it for close to 10 years now. Time flies. But I get free water, free hot water, and I've got it for years, which is great. But if I had it to do all over again today, I might put a hybrid in. It's less expensive. It's certainly energy efficient, and I don't have to put any holes in my roof.
But like everything else in Florida, that we have shorter time limits, and water heaters are really an overlooked. You just walk past it in the utility room or whatever, and the outside, hey, it looks great. It's clean.
One of the problems here in Central Florida, and the reasons the water heaters don't last a long time, is our water is rough. It's harsh.
Yep.
And in my opinion, everybody should have a water filtration system because it eats up your appliances, all kinds of things. And at ACE, we do water filtration as well. We have some great products for that. But water filtration will help if you have copper pipes. One of the reasons the copper pipes cause a problem and we end up doing repipes is because of our water. That same copper up in other states lasts for years and years and years, Some people say it's the lightning, but it's truly our water.
It makes a big difference here in Florida. Folks, I'm going to go ahead and make the special offer one more time. What Charlie has offered to do is take the ACE Family Value Plan, normally $289.95, and they sell this plan day in and day out. You won't find this offer on Google or on their webpage. You will find a description of the plan and the $289.95 price. On this radio show, we are making a special offer for an additional 10 callers that can get in when I give out the number. But here's the deal. You're going to get the $289.95 ACE Family Value Plan that covers your home's air conditioning with 2 visits, plumbing, and electrical for a full year for the low price of $139.95. That's right, less than half price. $139.95 for an entire year covering your home's AC, electrical, and plumbing. But you've got to dial the phone quick. So grab your cell, and here's the number, 877-223-2968. Again, 877-223-2968 for the ACE Family Value Plan. And Charlie, I've got a humorous question. I know you know the answer to it, but what's that spigot for down at the bottom of water heaters?
Well, it's there so people can flush their water heater, and
which is something like changing the air filters. Is something you never do. Something you never do.
There's a few people out there that do it religiously, but they're very few.
Tell our listeners why. People don't necessarily know why.
They don't know why. They don't know how to do it. Number one, we have people from time to time. Most of our water heaters here in Central Florida are electric. Sometimes they do more damage because they don't shut the power off and then flush the tank, drain it. As soon as those elements get in open air and they're not in the water, in a moment they burn out. And we get the calls, now I have no hot water. If you're going to do that, there are steps to do it. First of all, shut the power off and open the relief valve, open the tank, and open a couple of faucets so you get air into the system and then flush it out. But there are water heaters that have so much sediment that you can crack that valve open, it won't drip a drop.
Because it's all chunk.
There's all minerals.
How many guys does it take to carry one of those out?
Let me say this, they're a lot heavier on the way out than they are on the way in. The new ones are, they have no waste in them, You'd be surprised how many minerals are in our water. And sometimes we'll take them outside and nothing's come out. We'll break. It's got water in it still. It's heavy. We'll take a hammer and break the valve off, and the people can't believe what comes out of it. Same thing with the drain line on your air conditioner. We vacuum that out and blow it out. The stuff that lives in that.
The science project inside.
It is a science project. Yep. I think if you leave it there, it'll get up and walk away.
Folks, we've been talking about energy savings and advancements in air conditioning and water heaters on the Home Maintenance Show sponsored by ACE Solves It All. And ACE is on call 7 days a week, 7 to 7.
24 hours a day.
24 hours a day for emergencies. But one of the other things about that ACE Family Value Plan is if you buy the plan, you will have 24-hour coverage at no extra charge. Obviously, there's an upcharge for people that don't have the plan at 2 o'clock in the morning. But if you have the ACE Family Value Plan active, there is no extra charge for you. And quite frankly, you go to the top of the list and ACE takes care of you because you're a home maintenance type person.
And Jerry, we very rarely get breakdowns from our ACE Family Value Plan members because we've checked their system.
You've already been there and taken care of it.
And we've showed them what's going to fail, and if they choose to fix it, they won't have a problem.
All right, one last chance. If you want to get in on the ACE Family Value Plan, normally $289.95. This radio-only special, $139.95, covering your home's AC, plumbing, and electrical for 1 full year. Here's the number to call, 877-223-2968. One more time, 877-223-2968. For the ACE Family Value Plan at less than half price, $139.95, covering your home's air conditioning, plumbing, and electrical. You've been listening to the ACE Solves It All home maintenance program. We appreciate you listening. If you want to learn more about ACE Solves It All and the wonderful service, go to acesolvesitall.com. Thank you for listening.
Broadcasting from the Paddock Mall Studios, this is WOCA, Ocala, Gainesville, The Villages, 1370 AM, 96.3 FM, The Source.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. Donald Trump says he hopes Hillary Clinton gets well soon. That after word Clinton's taking a couple of days off from the presidential campaign with pneumonia. Trump awaiting results from his own checkup.
Hopefully they're going to be good. I think they're going to be good. I feel great. But when the numbers come in, I'll be releasing very, very specific numbers.
Trump speaking on Fox and Friends. In Memphis, at least 9 dead after an early morning house fire with one child fighting for its life. Officials investigating. Some football fans thrown for a loss on the first Sunday of the NFL season when ESPN's fantasy app crashed.
Many frustrated fans turned to Twitter to complain. One person tweeting, "Shout out to the ESPN fantasy app crashing. This is like the IRS crashing on tax day." Still, ESPN calling their fantasy site the most popular in the country.
Fox's Carly Shimkus. The app was down for 4.5 hours. Fox News. We report, you decide.
ADT presents What to Consider When Considering Home Security. An ADT sign is more than a sign. It's a line in the sand. On one side, your family. On the other, an uncertain world.
For over 140 years, more people have chosen ADT to help prevent crime than anyone else. Get ADT starting at just $28.99 a month.
Tested, trusted, proven ADT.
With 36-month contract for licensing and terms and conditions, visit ADT.com.
Any Joe Schmo knows Geico will work to save you money on car insurance. But since money talks, why not just ask the savings?
That's me, Joe's Savings. I'm not literally $1,000,000, but I feel like it. Why? Because when Joe switched his car insurance at Geico.com, his monthly rate went down and the savings went up. Now he uses the handy Geico mobile app anytime to check out his policy perks. Talk about a win-win. And 2 thumbs up. Man, I wish I had thumbs.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance.
It's time for Farm and Ranch headlines on the Southeast AgNet. I'm Tyron Spearman reporting. The National Ag Statistics Service released the condition of the peanut crop nationwide. 2% very poor, 6% poor, 28 fair, 51 good, and 13% excellent. Conditions in Georgia, 4% very poor, 9% poor, 25 fair, 45 good, and 17% excellent. They said the eastern section of Georgia received relief from Hurricane Hermine. Still dry on the western side of the belt. Underground white mold a major problem. Heat has returned as digging has started. Alabama was 51% fair, 42 good, 7% excellent. Some scattered showers from the hurricane, but little relief on the eastern side of the belt. They said Florida has about 9% harvested already. They said the conditions were 4% poor, 19 fair, 88 good, and 9% excellent in Florida. Farms waiting for the water to recede, and peanuts looking good and ready to be harvested.
And now another episode of One Soil to Live.
I'm sorry, Sarah. It doesn't look good.
Oh, no, Doctor. Is there any hope?
Well, yes. But you'll need to follow these 4 principles if you want to make it healthy again.
Of course. Anything.
Okay. Now, first, you must keep it covered and keep living roots in it throughout the year with diverse plants and rotations.
Yes, Doctor. Of course.
And finally, Sarah, it's important to disturb it as little as possible.
Oh, thank you, Doctor. You're a real soil saver.
No thanks necessary. Improving soil health is what I live to do.
There's an amazing amount of life in healthy soil. More importantly, that life can help make our nation's farms more productive, profitable, and resilient. Visit your local USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service office today and learn more about the basics and benefits of soil health. This message brought to you by USDA and this radio station.
I'm Tyron Spearman for Southeast AgNet.
Attention passengers for Flight 1370. The plane has been delayed at its departure point and will be at least 2 hours late. We apologize for any inconvenience.
Are you serious? It took us over an hour to get here, 2 hours going through security and getting our tickets, and now we have to wait another 2 hours.
Yeah, it's beautiful here, but we're inside this overcrowded airport all day because the plane is stuck in bad weather.
This is the last time we ever do this. When we get back, we're going to Ocala Aviation and getting our pilot's license.
Yeah, we've been talking about that long enough. It's about time we did it. Then we could just fly ourselves and never have to deal with this mess again.
Right. No long lines, no full body groping security, no baggage checks.
Not to mention never losing your luggage. Remind me again why we haven't done that?
Well, we're idiots.
Oh, right.
Attention all passengers for Flight 1370. It looks like the plane is going to be delayed a little bit longer. The airline has lost the pilot's luggage. Isn't it time you got your pilot's license? Call Ocala Aviation today. 352-861-7484. That's 352-861-7484. Hey, you've earned it. Call today.
Are you an animal lover concerned about the black bear issue? Forest Animal Rescue is finishing construction of an 80-acre sanctuary here in Marion County dedicated to helping sick, injured, or abandoned bear cubs be returned to safe habitats in the wild, and you can be a vital part of this effort. Your contribution to Forest Animal Rescue will help complete the new on-site clinic. To learn more or volunteer, call 352-625-7377 or visit forestanimalrescue.org. Will you help?
Working 9 to 5, what a way to make a living.
The hit movie is now a Broadway musical, and you can see it live on stage at Ocala Civic Theater September 8th through October 2nd. Join Violet, Dora Lee, Judy, and all the girls in the office as they teach the big boss a lesson. Filled with music and big laughs, 9 to 5 is great fun. Call Ocala Civic Theater at 352-236-2274. Don't miss it. 9 to 5.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOC.